Good evening, fight fans. Welcome to another great episode of Headkicks and Haymakers. I'm your boy Bodkins. And as you know, we got a lot to talk about tonight. UFC 321. And, well, let me start with the biggest headline coming out of UFC 321. It is none other than the finger poke of doom, as I like to call it. As you know, by now on Saturday afternoon, maybe Saturday late, early evening, depending on where you're at in the world, Ciryl Gane in the first round. Bink finger pokes Captain Insano to Tom Aspinall. And I don't even really know where to start with this, but I just got to get some things off my chest. First of all you fucking Twitter haters out there who are not doctors, not Tom Aspinall, who are saying, oh, Tom quit. He quit. Who the fuck are you to say somebody quit? Who are you to say that this man who has waited 15 months to fight, who has went through multiple camps ready to fight John Jones, and then obviously that fell through, and then within 3 minutes of the round one, where it is noted that him and his dad have both said they want to go into deep waters, they're looking to go to a fight, they want to see what Tom really has. They've trained for 15 months and in 3 minutes, because to say he quit, oh, he was acting. Are you fucking kidding me with this fucking bullshit? Because you just want to make a name for yourself because you think, I don't see you stepping into that octagon and fighting. And I don't want to compare it to any other sports because MMA and fighting is totally different. But more people are pissed off at Tom Aspinall than they are at Ciryl Gane, and that is wrong. You ever, and this is the only comparison I'm compared to another sport. Let's just say you sit down last Monday night and you watch Monday Night Football, and on the very first play of the game, here comes a player and he knocks out a Commander's player and he knocks out Patrick Mahomes with a concussion. He's out for the game. Are you going to be pissed off at freaking Patrick Mahomes because he got a concussion? Or are you going to be pissed off at the guy who gave him the illegal hit? I'll wait. Oh, that's right. You're going to be pissed off at the person that gave him the illegal hit. Only in MMA are you mad at somebody that actually gets the foul done to them and is hurt that they can't continue. Oh, you got to continue. There is legacy. There is money. There's too much on the line. The man said he could not fucking see. It is now Wednesday. His dad put out a statement in a video vlog, said he still can't fucking see. It is 50%. Everything's real gray in the eye. It wasn't one eye poke. It was two eye pokes at the same damn time. Get out of here with this Tom quit bullshit. No fighter is going in there and quitting. No fighter trains as much as Tom Aspinall does. No professional fighter goes in there and quits. They just don't. I mean, RDR probably quit a little bit, but I think he probably would have went out there if he could have. His team just decided for him. Now, they're professional fighters. This is what they get paid to do. They train their whole life. Tom Aspinall trained his whole life for this moment. And you're going to say 2 minutes in, he got an eye poke and he quit? Get out of here. Oh, he was getting pieced up. He wanted a way out. Are you kidding me? Look at the significant strikes. They're damn near even. And you're going to tell me Tom Aspinall quit? No. Did Ciryl Gane look good? Yeah, he did. Was he on his way to win round number 1? Yeah, he did. He probably was. There's still 4 more rounds, folks. There's still 4 more rounds. How many times have we seen in fights a guy come all the way back? Shit, just on that same card alone, Nathaniel Wood was left for dead. He was down 2 rounds and he come back and won. We see it all the time. And you're going to tell me the heavyweight champion of the world is going to quit because he in 1 round he might have dropped a round? Get out of here. Get out of here with that nonsense. I can't believe the people's takes and the hate that Tom Aspinall's getting for this. It makes no sense whatsoever. They're going to do the rematch. The rematch is going to be great. Surreal won't be as bad as underdog. Hopefully. I mean, we got to hope that they're going to do a rematch depending on Tom's eye. And then Dana White shits on it. Shits on the fight and Tom, I felt. But I think that's more, more as far as, negotiation tactics. Andy, his dad, said some things throughout the week. I got all the boys with me tonight. We'll get their thoughts as well. Of course, Mr. Bobby Blunts and your boy K Witt. Boys, I told you I wanted to start the show. I needed to go for a minute. I've been holding it in since Wednesday. I've been reading everybody's tweets. I've been seeing all the shit, all the hatred for Tom Aspinall. And I love Tom Aspinall. You guys know that. But it doesn't matter. If the roles were reversed and Tom finger poked Surreal and they call a non-contest and people said Surreal quit, I would probably defend Surreal God and say Tom shouldn't have done the illegal strike. It was an illegal strike. I hate all of a sudden everybody on the whole MMA Twitter is either a doctor, a body language, or they're inside Tom Aspinall's brain telling us that he quit and that he can really see. Get out of here. You're not him. You're not a doctor. You're not a fighter. Shut up. Bobby, I'll start with you. Your thoughts.
Well, I mean, thanks for saving me a mouthful. That's for sure. I mean, definitely. The card was going pretty good kind of up until that point. There was some stuff that kind of was fizzling out, but for the most part, the prelims kind of delivered. But obviously, with the outcome of the main event, that's really going to be the stain on the entire card, no matter like what way you look at it. And I'd like to say I was surprised, but like realistically, I'm not. It's almost like too predictable, the reaction and stuff. There were like a lot of people like that were on the epic Tom hate watch on Saturday, like they wanted him to lose. And I understand it. Like I have been on the side of multiple hate watches myself. It was kind of weird that I was like on the other side of this one completely. But just like with the fight, Cyril was doing very well.
You're cutting in and out. You're cutting in and out. Can you
hear me now or no?
Yeah, you're just cutting in and out.
Okay,
go ahead.
So Cyril was pretty much.
There you go.
Cyril with the striking was, looking decent. I wouldn't frame it in a way where I thought like Tom was going to lose the fight. I mean, like you said, it was pretty even. I think, people saw the bloody nose. They're not used to seeing him bloody. And in their mind, it was a 10-8 round. And then Tom Aspinall got poked in the eye, both eyes, but his eyes were closed. So, of course, the eyelids, protect a French finger just going in your head. And, I mean, like I said, with the reactions, that's not too shocking. The second it happened, I kind of figured the fight was going to get called off just from the aspect of this is just like the kind of bad luck that keeps on like happening with Tom. And my biggest takeaway in the whole thing was Cyril was doing great. He was looking good. But at the end of the day, he Cyril Gond. And he was just undisciplined with his weapons, blinded Aspinall. This is a fighter that has fouled multiple people. I mean, the standing back hammer fist to the back of the head. You have John Jones literally on camera talking about how Cyril is a cheater. Like he got kicked in the crotch in the beginning of, their fight and instantly said, oh, I want to point that out because I know he was a dirty fighter. And I'm not trying to say like he did it intentional, but it's kind of irrelevant because no matter what, you get the no contest or whatever. Like for me personally, I would have said it was a disqualification, but I really have no issue with it being a no contest. But everyone kind of always looked at the scenario. The worst thing that could happen was, oh, Cyril won the fight, when that still would have been turnover in the division. The worst thing that could have happened on Saturday, like plain and simple. And I find it comical that all the people that are like basking and being happy that this happened, knowing that they're just going to run this back and you're going to have to do the whole thing over again. But, anything for the clicks. So unfortunate night. Hopefully Aspinall isn't blind and they can get it early next year. But who knows? The last thing I'll say on it is, though I don't think he was faking in any way, I don't think doing the YouTube stuff is helping him at all. Because you mentioned the stuff with Andy Aspinall and talking about him like wanting to get paid more. And
Whit, your thoughts on your thoughts there.
All right, first of all, bro, let me just do this right quick. Because I think that was the spirit of soliloquy. You get all the props from me, bro, because you know me and you, we go way back when it comes to this MMA thing. You and Bobby make some great points, and I just want to do the serial observer. My serial, as I was observing the 321, I was hyped, I was excited. And you know how we feel, and MMA fans, you, me, and Bobby, and others who watch the show. The heavyweight division was in need of some type of excitement. And I think to a degree, we got exactly that in the form of the first 30 seconds, right? To me, I really got to say that this looked like Cyril Gahn's best work. You know what I'm saying? In a long time.
No, he looked. This was the best he looked at like the 3 title fights he's had.
Correct. He looked extremely good. It looked like necessarily if this was to be the championship match, this would have been the one we wanted to see in the first place, because we all understand that John Jones wasn't coming back unless it's for a large bag, or unless it's for Alex Pereira, or maybe Francis Ngannou. So this is what got me. But the eye poke, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I understand. I get it, bro. It took all of the wind out of the arena. It took all of the wind out of the spectating fans,
out of the whole pay-per-view. The whole pay-per-view.
Right. It took the wind out of everybody watching in 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You know what I mean? And for me personally, no, leave your brother. Look at that. He's so bad he wants to pull his brother away from me talking about it. But anyway, the thing is, I have to go along with everyone else who says, look, did it look bad on Tom's part? Of course it did. But everybody, just like you said, who all of a sudden put on a nurse's smock, or became eye doctors or optometrists or ophthalmologists and just made the deduction that he could see. I think you just need to be quiet. Now, don't get me wrong. Me, even if you go look at my Twitter, I saw a couple of things that I retweeted. Did I say that was getting outrageous? I sure did. I thought, AI in 2025 is ridiculous, boy. You could type in.
The internet's gonna internet memes are memes. Like that shit's always gonna be funny. The
right.
You can't see me John Cena one is probably one of the best ones.
Right, and I was right there with it. But in terms of the other people on the Twitter sphere, on the X sphere, so to speak, that began to retweet pictures of other fighters who were damn near eyes shut, swollen. I get it, but in Tom's case, this is for the heavyweight title.
It's two different things too, right? It's two different things where your eye is swollen and you got to push through that. You know what I mean? Where maybe your orbital is cracked and you got to push through that. That's a cause of a legal a legal strike, and you can push through that things. Like every fighter knows they're gonna have to push through those things. But when you get your eyes gouged out, and gouged in, that's two totally different things. Yeah,
and guys were putting up pictures of Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping will tell you it sucks, but the eye poking is not one of the things that you want to have included in the world of MMA. But for me, in all honesty, I think the approach that has to change, excuse me, I got kids. The approach that has to change is seriously the idea that the gloves.
I don't think the gloves are necessarily the issue either. Like they could be changed, but I mean we've seen a lot of fighters, especially Jim Miller's been very vocal. Like it ain't the gloves, it's the fighter. Like it's the fighter and the technique of putting their hands out. And is that's the problem. Like Jim Miller's who nobody's probably fought more in the UFC octagon than Jim Miller. He said I have 0 eye pokes. Why? Because I know how to close my fucking fist.
Yeah, and then the gauging of distance by reaching your hand out is a tactic that a lot of fighters use, but keeping your hand closed. Now, how do you begin to later on? Maybe the UFC adopts some of this because, like they showed on several times, one did it, PFL did it, another one of those Chinese MMA promotions did it. The glove leaves your hand at a curved space, so all you can technically do is either grab or make a fist. That's it.
Pride gloves are that.
Pride gloves were like that. So all you can do is either grab or make a fist. So it doesn't take away the dexterity needed to grapple. It doesn't take away the dexterity needed to maybe change positions on and off the mat. So maybe it was something like this, especially in times where it really matters the most. Heavyweight fights, championship fights, 5-round fights. We just need to just consider it. But for the most part, guys, you guys said the gamut. You guys went through the whole thing. I think that this would have been one of the best fights for both Ciryl Gane and Tom Aspinall. Can we have it again? I think there were a lot of people were talking about like January at Madison Square Garden. 2 months time.
I think it won't be till next year. They've already got the both pay-per-views laid out, so like it won't be till January, if it at the earliest.
Right, and so that's what I'm saying. In January or February, is there a card that is deserving of a heavyweight title fight? I think so, but in all actuality, I want Tom at 100%. I don't want him at 65. I want him at this best opposition because it looked like we were going to get that from the two gentlemen in the heavyweight fight before the eye poke happened.
Yeah. It's real. Like I said, I'm not taking anything. I don't think he did it on purpose. I do think that he committed the foul, right? So I'm not going to say like
he's just undisciplined. I mean, whether it's intentional or not, he's always been extremely undisciplined, and on his way to winning a round. It looked like we were going to get a good competitive fight, and he fucks himself by sticking his hands in his head, and then like you led off with, people want to blame Tom for it. Like, go touch some fucking grass. It's not even.
That's the thing. I just can't believe the people that are blaming Tom is like, well, he's the one that got his eye gouged, like not anybody else.
And Cyril's a dunk, like he's done this before. This isn't like something new, And it's I think everyone's just mad that their time got wasted, sort of thing. And that's where you get a lot of it from.
You're right. Time, money, and gambling, right? Like those threes kind of all coincide. I feel like.
Well, like when you said with like Mahomes getting down, does people like go after him and stuff? Not in the normal NFL community, but in the gambling and fantasy community. Oh, they absolutely put it on. So unfortunately, that's just like a byproduct of these things that are so, you're just going to kind of get that type of pushback. So it is what it is.
Bobby, you mentioned Tom and his YouTube. That's a good, like I think really like Dana's like that anger from Saturday stemmed from Andy, Tom's dad, on their YouTube page saying like Tom's only got 3 fights left. I want him to go to boxing. We want to go make more money. I don't really think that they're going to do that. I think it's a negotiation tactic from the Aspinall camp. And Dana's obviously he's pissed off. He was probably already pissed off about that. We know. And then he just pissed off about how the fight ended. And then Andy and Tom, and they've done some things on their YouTube showing the eyes and stuff like that and kind of follow them. I don't really know if that did them a whole lot of favors because there's no context to it necessarily. But that's kind of where I'm at. Your thoughts on that?
Well, so to me, because of Andy's comments of wanting Tom to box and stuff, let's say in an alternate universe, the fight did not end in a poke. Tom got the win. I guarantee you Dana White still would have buried him at that press conference. He would have found a different way to do it. Because granted, a lot of it was him being pissed off at the event. But the reason I applaud Andy for the comments, but at the same time, I hate that the standard is, where it is with MMA managers. So it's good to see someone actually trying to get something for the client and bring attention to this stuff. But what you mentioned with the leverage, I think if he knew the outcome of Saturday's fight, he would not have peeped a word of that.
Oh, agreed. Right. This was before
leverage, just the little leverage he kind of had was that there was still some type of quote unquote lineage in the title if he would defend it. And now it's almost even more of a headache. And if he only has 2 fights left, not including the one that we just saw on Saturday, that can get really dicey.
So he just said 3 fights left, so I don't know if that included the Saturday's fight. I think he was not counting that, so technically he would have 3 fights left. The way the clip read to me. So Lord Steens here, he says my thoughts on this is why give the notorious dirty fighter a handicap by fighting a compromise because he fouled you. He said, you and I, not just once, but multiple times in the fight, just zero logic. Agreed. So, I mean, they're not going to strip him, Rob. I don't it's not, and it's not even that he's going to leave. It's a negotiation tactic. Because if he wins the 3, that they're just saying, hey, we have options because Tom's boxed before, in this and that. So there's a blueprint with Francis. The thing that they don't have is they don't have the turkey kind of backing them that Francis had him. So I don't think that that's true at all.
I think those days.
But I was just about to say, but you know who would? Since we're talking about England, Matchroom.
Eddie Hearn. I mean, Eddie
would love to do something like that.
That's a good shout. That's a good shout. With Eddie Hearn could sign him. I mean, he is homies with the Furies and all them. So
yeah, but we know how this works. If he doesn't re-up, UFC is going to slow wall him with that last fight. I mean, all that stuff. At this point, to me, you say he has 3 fights left on his contract. I would just love to see him. That's all I'm asking for at this point.
Yeah.
What I would take away from Cyril's success is Tom did himself no favors waiting 15 months for that John Jones fight.
Yeah.
And
the little ring rust was there for sure. I thought the same.
But and I don't even want to get into when Cyril defended the takedown, he technically poked him in the eye again. So it wasn't just one foul in the fight. It was multiples.
Yeah. I mean, Rob, you're 100%. The public negotiation with Dana is 0 for 100. There's probably, I would say 1, maybe 2 people. I think John Jones and Connor, and really Nate Diaz to an extent. Remember the UFC 200 was supposed to be Connor and Nate, and there was some public negotiations, and Nate kind of skipped out on some shit because of it as well. So maybe 3 out of 100 if you want to go that route.
Yeah, but it's just not a winning athlete.
No, it's not. It's not. But I get what Andy's trying to do. I'm not saying it's the best advice, but I understood I didn't read too much into it other than this is a negotiation tactic here.
And at the same time, if he had great success in the fight, then the comments would have probably aged a little better. But just the way it was worded, there were so many ways you could have framed that to not make it, you know, like I saw a lot of people be like, oh, you know, it wasn't that bad. I'm like, it wasn't that bad, but it also really wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Like,
and Dana came out and shit on Tom, just made it really sound like Tom quit. And, you know, and I think that's where some of that narrative of like Tom quit as well came from, when you got the president of the fucking organization saying that. There's no other commissioner in any other sports, you know, and I know Dana's not really a commissioner. He is a, you know, a promoter, but, you know, he's, but you know, there's no other person that's going to shit on another player or a person in their sport like that at all. Dana's the only one that does it.
Not to harp on this, but that's because those sports have something called a players union. So if any of that shit goes down, the players union.
The only person that did it is Vince McMahon, and that was scripted. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
They're getting big money out of it.
And
you know, I think. Go ahead, Bobby.
It's just like the way I look at it is it's just extremely unfortunate, because it's something you've been waiting for like the last year and a half. And I mean, that's just like the fan aspect of it. I could imagine, like, you know, Tom's aspect of it is, I put in this camp, I've been waiting this long to fight, and this happens. So I mean, that to me is why I just find the notion of him quitting absolutely comical. Like, if you want to like rage bait someone with that online, you know, do what you want to do. But I just find it extremely just disingenuous if you actually watch the sport. Like, you look at like the Bilal Muhammad situation when he got poked in the eye with Leon Edwards. What did everyone do? Like, oh, Leon was looking real good in that 5 minutes there. He definitely was on his way to taking him to the cleaners. Took him a year and a half to run back the rematch, but we all know the result of that one. So, I mean, I would just say, act like you've been here before and acknowledge that you can go back and forth in the fight. Trying to paint a picture after 4 minutes and an egregious legal foul is just comical.
And then somewhere in there, I want to just throw in, you know, of course, the idea that the division has been waiting for this. You know what I'm saying? There are guys.
Yeah, the division. You're right. Division's been on stall since Madison Square Garden a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, guys in the back burner. You know what I'm saying? We, of course, Curtis Blades is up there, but he's had opportunities. Pavlovich comes to mind. You know, Acosta, right? You know, like there's a couple of guys that were saying, okay, is this the my opportunity to, if Cyril takes it from Tom, then I'm next because I'm behind. Volkov, what? Come on, you know, those guys are watching this and going, well, now all hell, we gotta wait another year. You know what I'm saying? Not even another year, but another 6 months for us to have some motion. And I get it, you know, being a competitor or being competitive about certain things, you know, especially something as hard focused as the MMA, like that's got to be tough, bro, because you're waiting for that next meal, you're waiting for that next call, that next fight to go, okay, this is the one that's going to propel me into the stratosphere, or to get me to where I want to be, where I can face Tom Aspinall or Cyril Gane if he would have won. And now it's just on stall. Now I got to wait for another fight night. Now I got to fight Derek Lewis or something. You know what I mean? And there's no knock on Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis will get you some money if you can beat him. But Derek Lewis, I mean,
look at, you know, wait, you're 100% right. Like, you look at somebody like Volkov, who won on Saturday. He already had the mess with Cyril Gane where he got screwed out of the judges, where he probably should have won that fight and should have been in the title fight. And, you know, we're looking at possibly Aspinall, you know, whatever, whoever wins that fight, could be next, right? Like, you know, and he's not, he's got to wait, you know, X amount of months and then another X amount of months to get a fight, because, you know, so like he's even put more on the back burner than what he's already had to wait due to the saga of Tom and John, and John just not relinquishing the title and holding it hostage. And all these things that have happened. Really, that if you really want to break it down, like the title, ever since, well, I guess you could, like the last 5 years at heavyweight, it's been a mess, right? Ever since the last real title fight we had was Francis versus Ciryl Gane.
And people take that Stipe title run for granted. They don't understand how good it was.
Like Stipe was at least fighting once a year, and then once Francis beat him, then we had the long saga. Then it was quite a while since before Francis even fought Ciryl, and then we didn't have that was the real last title fight that really, and then the division's been in shambles since. Like,
technically, even though I don't particularly acknowledge it, John did defend it against Stipe. But that has air quotes all over it. It's.
To Rob, I kind of agree. This is I put it on Dana for burning the bridge with Francis and all the things. So
I agree, but at the same time, I keep seeing people's problem solving to this is bringing Francis back into the UFC, and it's you're going to bring in a guy that's fought MMA one time in the last 5 years. I mean, it seems like more of a pipe dream than the division actually getting back on track.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if Francis is coming back. I think we're all in agreement. They're going to have to run this back. we got to talk about the rest of the card here. We got a shout out to Mackenzie Dern gets it done in a nice, I thought she won the fight. It was a good fight, close fight. And you kind of got to ask yourself what's next, who's next for her. I guess you just kind of wait to see if Wei Li wins or loses, and if she comes back down or win.
If Wei Li loses and come back down, that's one. I think, and I'm not really going for this one, but I saw really a good bit of people retweeting the Joanna Jędrzejczyk coming back for a fight.
I don't think she's coming back.
I don't think she would, but it's a good idea. It's not like there are very many people at the top that would make competition for Mackenzie Dern right now. And I think that's the biggest thing. Amanda Lemos would have been good, but of course she just took an L. So I think to a degree, to see what goes on with that strawweight, we're kind of just going to have to let the end of the year play out and the very beginning of January, because I'm sure they're going to make something work for a co-main in these coming months when it comes to the women's strawweight division. But I'm excited for Mackenzie Dern. She deserved it. She came in with a lot of fanfare, and making it to where she did. That this is completely worth it. I would imagine for her. But of course, big shouts out to Verna Jandiroba. Did a really good, in my opinion, did a really good job. The wrestling and the grappling and the groundwork, I think those were just those are the highlights of the fight, in my opinion. The two of them really going toe to toe, both of them seeming like they were equals. You know what I mean? Because there were times where Jandiroba looked really good, but then Mackenzie Dern shook her way out of a lot of being out of dominant position, and I definitely give her that. So if there are points for that, and then I think me and Bobby and we were talking and we were like, how did she get it? Damage is scored totally differently these days, and when you look at how Mackenzie Dern was able to prevail out of tough situations and land some really significant strikes, I mean, I can get it, but this is almost a scenario where if Jandiroba does anything in January, February, March, we may have to see this again, bro. Because it was, in my opinion, it was really close. So close that if anything else transpires, Jandiroba has to be the person to take someone out of number one contention, and then we see her go right back at it with Mackenzie Dern, unless we see Wei Li come back and take possession or take ownership of the division.
Yeah, I hadn't heard this rumor. Rob saying the real rumor is Rose is coming back down. we haven't seen Rosa in a little bit. She was pretty active when she first made the return to flyweight. I guess she fought in June, so it's been a little while for Rose, and she won. She's in the top 6 or top 5. So, you know, I'm not too sure. Bobby, your thoughts here on Mackenzie and kind of what's next here at the strawweight?
Good for Mackenzie. I thought it was a good performance. I definitely had her winning. I was very surprised at Vierna's, she was able to get the takedown and have, a decent position, but she just really did not inflict any damage when she had her down. Like, she was just trying to grapple her. And I think that's why Mackenzie, ended up winning pretty unanimously there. But it's good to get something fresh in there. I know people didn't want Wei Li to vacate the title, but that just simply isn't how it works anymore. So I'd be kind of surprised to see her actually come back down too. I know a lot of people are just assuming that would happen, but
I think if she loses, I think she could come back down. If she wins, I think she stays.
Yeah, I think she's just going to stay up and, focus on that division there. Very similar with like Islam and stuff like that. I don't think she's going back down to 155.
If Wei, I think the difference is, I think there's still a lot of fights for Islam at 155. You look at Wei Li, she's beat everybody at strawweight.
Like, I don't know. I think there's one fight left for Islam at 155, but I get your drift. I prefer the kind of the freshness, though. I just have a feeling that the UFC is going to spam us with Tatiana Suarez versus Mackenzie Dern. In my mind, that's already signed. I know Rob's going to love that one.
Didn't she lose her last fight? No, she
won. She just did not look.
She beat Lemos.
I've talked about it in the past, like whether it's her camp or the division.
Her and Patchy hanging out together.
well, I just think like the division's caught up to her wrestling and stuff like that. So but I have and to me it kind of sits a little weird because she got so outclassed by Wei Li, but granted Wei Li left the division, so I think the UFC is just going to have that as like an auto co-main for a future pay-per-view. And I'm pretty confident that what I would want to see, I can't even think of, just because I have a feeling they're definitely going to do that fight.
I think they kind of want Tatiana because she has the great story, right? But so does Mackenzie Dern. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, both of them been through the ups and downs in the fight game and outside right? Here's a name I don't really like.
It'd be very easy to market too.
Yeah. Here's a name. This is the fight, number one contender fight. Maybe I don't, just because she had one win. Tatiana's only had one win since the title fight. So I don't really like that so much. The person I'm thinking here is Lupe Godinez. If she can she's 6, so she probably needs somebody in that top 5. Let's say you do her and Tatiana, and winner would get Dern.
Yeah, I'd be up for it. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think Dern was 6, and they gave her the title shot. So, if she's on the streak, actually, throw her in there. I mean, why even set it up?
Because some people are going to say she needs one more, she needs this. So I was just trying to,
Well, in the words of Hunter Campbell, the rankings mean nothing, Sean Brady. Take this fight with Morales.
True that. The rankings don't mean shit. So just go her and Lupe, a new face, new fresh, somebody that hasn't had a crack at the title.
Yeah, and I don't want to say the UFC wanted Dern to win, but I'm pretty sure that would have been their preference. I would have been interested in a run for either of them just because it's something fresh. So, get it. Like, to me, I'm more interested to see if Mackenzie can defend the title and stuff. So you kind of got intrigue at the top of the division that you really haven't had in a long time, just because Wei Li is so unbeatable. So it's a positive to take away. I mean, one of the few positives to take away from the card, compared to all the other nonsense.
A fight that I thought that kind of flew under the radar and nobody's talking to, maybe because of the whole eye poke stuff, is Umar beating Mario Batista. I think that while it was 3-0, Mario got him with the knee, and maybe if you want to give him round 2, but I thought Umar pretty much won. But I also thought Mario Batista showed that he belonged in that top 5 range. Like he's a guy that probably is going to be there, just needs some more time. Umar wants a title shot next week. I guess I feel like he needs, I don't know. It is what it is. I guess rankings don't really mean shit, but he hasn't really fought a whole lot before he got the title shot, and he's only won 1 fight since the title shot. But your thoughts, Whit, on maybe possibly Umar being the title and just him and Mario Batista all together?
I mean, I really had high hopes for that fight, and it pretty much delivered. We do have to remember who Umar Nurmagomedov is from time to time, and this was a great reminder. Mario Batista went in there, gave it his all, and I am. If I was his corner or in his corner, I would be proud of it. You know what I'm saying? This was by no means a loss. And of course, in sports and especially in MMA, moral victories don't mean anything. But if you had to put your stamp on one and say, like, I did something, I would definitely go, hey, man, I took 3 rounds with one of the baddest guys in the division, and I held my ground. Did it look like he held his ground? Yeah, there was some times where Mario Batista had it, but it's the dominance once again that we have to remember that Umar hasn't shown us in close to a year, if I'm not mistaken. So I give him a whole bunch of credit, but going forward, where do you see the dance happening for him? It's one of those things where, if your last name Nurmagomedov, does this throw you back at the top? Like, do we immediately go, hey, there's a belt waiting on you, or there's a title fight waiting on you? I personally,
he's begging Dana for it. Dana said, show me a great performance, because he asked Dana on Friday or at the presser, and Dana pretty much said, give me a great performance. I don't really know if that performance deserves the title shot, but
yeah, I'm not going to say it's the performance that deserves the title shot. I'm going to say it was more so the effort. Does he now? Do we get a number 1 elimination fight somewhere in here? I don't necessarily want to see him fight anybody. Sanhagen, I don't know. Song Yadong, of course, that's what I'm saying. They run it back of Sanhagen. I think this will give him the opportunity to watch as 2 through 3 play out, where they got, of course, O'Malley at 2 and Peter Yan at 3, Sanhagen 4. Somebody's got to play themselves out in the event of saying, hey, look, you got to go against Umar in 2026, and then going against Umar in 2026 will lead you right to the title, And of course, we all know who's at the top of the bantamweight division, and that guy's called the Machine for no reason. All right, he'd be ready for whomever gets to the number 1 spot, I'm pretty sure. But big kudos to Umar and Batista for putting on a spirited performance for sure.
Bobby, your thoughts on Umar and Batista?
I thought it was the best fight on the card, like easily kind of back and forth. Obviously excluding like Quinlan's wild head kick.
I was just gonna say the best fight,
stuff,
or
but as far as like a fight, 2 highly ranked guys. I think Mario is criminally underrated. Like, he should be ranked way higher in the division, especially.
Yeah, right now they got Mario 9, and I think he's probably better than Cheeto, Sahabi, Figgy. Like,
to me, he's easily top 5. I still don't understand what O'Malley's doing at 1, but I don't even want to waste my time, breaking down those rankings. Mario landed that knee in the second and dropped Umar. And I was surprised Umar recovered pretty quickly and then just continued to kind of hold the pressure on him. And I was, even though he did not finish him, I was very impressed with the win, especially if you compare it to like 2 weeks ago, like Zahabi versus Chico Vera. I thought Zahabi struggled with Chico. So to me, like, I know it's going to rub some people the wrong way, but I really don't care because I think Merab and Umar is the fight. Like, if you want to have Umar fight someone else, sure, fine. Like, no one else in that division is beating him unless it's Merab. So
agreed. I think I'm kind of right there. I feel like he might need one more, but at the same time, I'm like, that's probably Merab's best challenge, and that's probably Umar's best challenge. And
he
the first
even
fight
said
was so entertaining.
Umar even said, if you need one more, I'll give you one more. He said, give him Figgy, give him Zahabi. So it's not like he's really trying to sit and stall. And maybe like rep wise, when you see how much Merab trains and fights, it might be in his best interest to take one more. Because I don't think it'd be too risk averse in worrying about him losing or anything like that. But I mean, granted, it's MMA, so anything can kind of flip on its head. But if he takes another fight, I could totally see it, especially with Umar having one on the books. But, you know, Ramadan, obviously, there's going to be that gap where I don't see him fighting. So we're just going to have to see how it ends up playing out. But, like, to answer the question, would I be fine with giving him a title shot? Yeah, and it's mainly because no one else is willing to fight him. I mean, credit to Mario for taking the fight.
Yeah.
Most of those guys that are camping out in the top five, you know, Corey, again, credit to him. He was willing to take the fight. Jan would not have taken that fight. You know, he definitely took advantage of the time and Umar or Merab getting back on the card at the end of the year. So I'm sure they'll eventually see each other down the line. If it's one or two more fights, who knows? But we know we're going to see that one again.
Yeah. For Mario, I think you stick him right back into somebody with the top five. Like him and Sandhagen would be a fun fight. You know, I don't know what they're doing with Song. There's reports that it's O'Malley Song coming up, maybe. But I'd give Mario somebody like that. You know, Corey's at 4. So I that's who. Give Mario, let him fight up in the rankings again because he's proved that he belongs.
I kind of want to see Mario O'Malley just stylistically.
You took it out of my head just now.
I'd just be interested if he could stay off the fence, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. And listen, that and to me, I think one of the things that's just because Mario showed some good ground stuff, man. I think for real. Like if he really is in that ballpark like we're putting him in right now, is you know somewhere we get him in there with the Sandhagens of the world, the Figueroas of the world, you know, it's available for him because those guys will kind of push, you know, just push the envelope just a little bit for him. And I think, you know, if he's down here at 9 right now and he just pretty much went against the number 1 contender, if he does anything to any of those guys I named, you know, we're looking at him to go up to be 2 or 3. And then Sean has to watch his back. But I'm waiting on Sean to go ahead and say, look, I'm just going to put on a couple more pounds and get ready for that BMF title fight. That's what I'm waiting on. I'm sorry.
There you go again.
You know, I didn't mention it last week. I wasn't here. But Sean O'Malley, BMF title, please.
We got to real quick mention Amzat knocks out Rakic in the first round. New player kind of at the light heavyweight. You know, Rakic is 4 losses in a row. He needs to fight. He's going to have to become the new what's his name? Kid that fought John Jones and had a bunch of losses and then went on to run.
Who? Reyes?
You know, Yeah, Reyes. Rakic is going to have to become the new Reyes. He's going to have 4 losses and build himself back up.
I'm like, I know you're not talking about Anthony.
No.
No.
And
I
mean, Rakic looks bad, but I don't even think he looked okay. He had the injury, and sometimes it takes a while to come back from a torn ACL and stuff like that. So,
and look, I want to throw a little bit. I want to throw a little bit of love, man. Quillen Sakala, dog.
knockout. Yeah,
I thought that was good because Nasrat was looking really good up until that point. So, yeah, give him. I think. I'm clicking on it now. He got a fight of the night bonus. So,
he did.
Night bonus. So, big shout out to him. I think that was a good showing for him too.
Yeah. Yes, that was a huge knockout. It was nasty. And then we got to shout out our guy Rebecca too. I mean, Jesus, that guy doesn't know how to be not in a boring fight. That guy is in a war every time. Mateus Rebecca's every time he's out. I could watch that guy fight 100 every day of my life because he is in a war every time. Walter Walker with a nice 4 wins in a row for him by heel hook, but he got hurt in that fight. So he's actually going to be out for a while, unfortunately. So,
that generational run just continues. It's so wild.
Whit, before we get out of here, you got anything else?
Yeah, man. So out of nowhere, we got to just take a quick look at what's going on. So big shouts out to Nick Mangold and his family. Of course,
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Because that was a tough hit for the family of everyone involved and the Jets family, but it propelled them to a win. Let's go. Pitbull Cruz versus Lamont Roach. It's going down. I think December the 6th. So this is finally something that we get to watch. We get to see Lamont Roach again out of nowhere because the last time we saw Lamont Roach, he was taking on Tank while Tank was wiping his eye, because he had hair gel in his eye. Y'all remember that fight? So it's a great idea to make sure we preview that one. We'll talk about that one later on. And then I think O'Shaky Foster is on that one as well. So I can't wait to get more information about it. But yeah, O'Shaky Foster is on that card as well. So there's some boxing going on, and we're gonna keep our eyes open for
the biggest boxing event of the year is this Friday night, I think, ain't it, Whit?
No, not the
Jake Paul.
No, that's not this week.
Oh, it's not this week. Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. Ain't that this? That's the biggest boxing match of the year, I thought.
No. Oh yeah, something else that happened real quick. I just want to throw this out there.
You guys don't want to talk about Jake Paul versus?
No, not that one. We're not gonna do that one. But my guy Rolly Lambert took a big L to Jurgen Uglaj. Uglaj got him pretty much by unanimous decision. It was a really, really tough one. But Fabio Wardley beat Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker, stepped
That's
on
early stoppage.
Joseph Parker stepped onto the scene last year and had like the world going crazy. So it's unfortunate because he beat Martin Bacoli and we thought that was a world beater, but just now lost the belt to Fabio Wardley.
He was winning that fight, Whit.
He was winning, but this is boxing, ladies and gentlemen. One punch changes everything 65% of the time. And in this case, the stoppage happened and the belt changes hands again. So the heavyweight division is in more flux. So, that was pretty much it for my boxing from this past weekend. But I'm excited to see what goes on with Pitbull Cruz and Lamont Roach in December.
Yeah, the big issue. He was winning that fight. It was early. It was an early stoppage. Yeah, Rob's even saying BS. It was bad stoppage. BS stoppage. On that heavyweight fight. Well, Bobby, any thoughts did you want to mention again? Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. I know you were super excited about that fight.
No, I'm not excited about that bullshit. Like, I could save my time. There's enough.
Heard you having a watch party, Bobby. Is that right?
We're gonna do a watch party for it.
Well, enjoy it, boys. I'll let you take care of that. I know you can hold that one down without me. I mean, there is I mean, you can try to spam Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman. Like, I'm happy they got paid. That does not mean I need to
Don't
commit
care.
my time and
Let me ask you what you don't care more about. This is really quick before we get out of here. All right. Do you care less about Jake Paul versus Tank Davis or Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather at the Sphere?
What?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Both those fights are just comical, like the time we live in. Double nothing burger.
Yeah, that's a reported rumor I was reading today, is that Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather is trying to get done. Floyd two, no, I mean that fight would have been great in 2010. I would have been excited for it, but
extremely excited. That would have been the bomb 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, that was 15 years ago, 16 years ago. That would have been great. Now,
yeah, if they could put on Tyson and Paul, they can pretty much put on anything. So, and I mean, to Manny's credit, he looked good in his last fight. I thought he won. I mean, that shouldn't have been a draw, but
he did win, didn't he? Didn't he win the title?
I thought it was like a unanimous draw. I might be mistaken,
okay,
but
I can't remember.
I thought he looked a lot better than he did. So good for him. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't have too much of an appetite for that. Probably about as much as this weekend's Apex. But
yeah, I got zero appetite for any of that, really. This card, we're not even going to talk about it because maybe we'll talk about it next week. But there we no need to preview. It's absolute shite.
Yeah, there's some decent ones that I'll enjoy, and I'll if they end up turning into anything, I'll mention them on next show. But
yeah,
it definitely just feels like, okay, fuck you, ESPN. Like we're saving all our meat and potatoes for the Paramount era. So they got those pay-per-views. We just gotta really hope the Qatar fight stays intact.
Yeah, there's only 6 fights. There's only 6 events left. We got 2 Apex and Apex cards back to back. Next week's actually is a little bit better than this week's. And then you have the MSG card, and then you have Qatar, then you have the December pay-per-view, and then you have the Apex to end the year.
I mean, either way, I'll be tapped in for the Waldo Cortez co-main. A fight that should be main event, might I add. Like, I'd be more interested to see Waldo in a 25-minute.
This is like Waldo's pretty active. He's the most active heavyweight. But it's like his 3rd fight this year.
I mean, he understands the goal. Like, you lose one, you can still keep moving and be 1 win away. So get those fights in, and
he just lost to Pavlovich, right? Like, I felt like that was like 2 months
and he's already booked getting back on that horse. Like, that's what you do instead of waiting too much for a fight and then get poked in the eye. I mean, be like Waldo.
Hey, and then look, I will be remiss, even though we don't want to talk about Jake and Tank. We do got to acknowledge Alicia Bumgarner and Lilia Bodana. That's going to be a good one. So I kind of got to watch that one. I can't lie. Kind of got to watch it.
Yeah, Waldo. This is Waldo
and Silva, Chris Weidman.
We don't need to see that shit again. This is 2025, and they're not in an octagon. So in 2012.
As long as neither one of them kicking each other, we gonna be all right. No kicking.
Don't need to say. Glad that boy's getting paid. That's it. Yeah, real quick. Cortez Acosta. This is his 4th fight of the year. He fought in March, June, and then he fought in August, and now he's fighting again.
My job's complete. I got Botkins to talk about the Apex card when he didn't want to.
Well, you mentioned Waldo Cortez. I was like, this got to be his 4th or 5th fight. This dude's been fighting a lot. And he's won every one of them besides the Spivak or the Pavlovich fight. So,
and he's pretty good in the Apex. So, hopefully he can keep a streak alive. Phil Rose on the card. The guy The Rock bought a house for is on the card, or I don't know if that was a tax scam or what, but he's on the card.
The Rock wrote that off, dog. It was dope.
I'm not trying to say that Garcia doesn't deserve a main event, but I don't know. It's just a little weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's not great. We're going to leave it at that. And well, the show's been great though. And with that being said, folks, we'll be back next week, 8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern, to talk about God knows what. We'll talk about maybe both Apex, and maybe we'll do Bobby's favorite, power rankings. So, other than that, folks, be a friend, tell a friend, like, subscribe, share. We appreciate all the comments. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll see you next week. For my guy, Bobby Blunt's Wit, I'm Bodkin. See ya.
Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, let's talk sport, friends. Thanks for watching.